you can see more twerking, butt jiggles, I don't know. Hi, I'm Mikey Madison, and this is my IMDb career check-in.
15. Cash up front.
Deal.
So on your IMDb quotes, there's one pulled from an interview talking about how you felt incredibly shy growing up. What first drew you to acting, and how did you first get over that hurdle?
So I think I was drawn to like the intimacy and connection that comes with acting. I think if I were to boil everything down, that's really what it was. It was a curiosity towards the connection that you get to have with people and all of these great, complicated experiences that you get to have while playing a character. And I think that that was something that was really interesting to me and intrigued me a lot, especially because I was so shy and introverted. But I think that, you know, over time, it's just something that I learned to live with more. Like I'm able to manage my internal energy in a different way more than I did before, because I know that I'm introverted, and I know my internal like clock that's like, this is how much time I will enjoy spending with someone, or you know, all of that. And so as an actor, it's been interesting to navigate that, but I've been finding my way.
That's too relatable, especially for me.
Really?
How do you kind of because that being on a set and doing press and all of that, how do you kind of manage your internal clock and like taking care of yourself in that, to know before you get like, I'm burnt out?
Yeah. I think it's something that I'm still learning to do, because obviously I chose a line of work that's very emotional, you know, which I think can be very tiring for a lot of people, especially like introverted people. And so I think I've just been navigating it like job by job. But I don't know, I've been really lucky to work with like very kind, understanding people. And I think sometimes like, if I'm quiet, it's people get it, and you know, I don't know. How do you manage it? You said you're introverted.
I think a lot of it is just kind of not saying yes to things immediately, like seeing how it sits with your body.
It's a difficult lesson, like, to learn to say no. I think especially as a women, we're kind of taught to be people pleasers, and so I mean, I don't know. At least that's been my experience. But yeah, no is definitely, it's a powerful phrase, and one that women need to utilize.
You want me to be your little wifey?
I'm serious.
3 carrots.
As you were getting into acting, or even now, what are some performances that have really inspired you?
Oh wow, yeah. At the beginning of my career, I was really inspired by Jennifer Lawrence. I loved like Winter's Bone, and also Stand By Me was a film that was really changed my life, and I fell in love with like these actors, and it was so emotional and beautiful. And also the John Hughes films like Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles. Molly Ringwald was an actress that I loved when I was getting into acting.
I'm so popular. Everybody loves me so much.
So I found that you love collecting books, and you mentioned one of my favorite ones, Patti Smith's Just Kids.
Oh, yeah.
What made you really connect with that book?
Wow, she's so soulful and has such a beautiful voice, and she's so many amazing stories to tell. I don't know, I think it's just one of those books. It's like you read it for the first time and it kind of changes you in a way. But I connected to it and her stories, and like her honesty, I think, was something that was really beautiful to me. It's a good reminder. I need to revisit that one. It's been a couple years, so yeah.
If they were to adapt it for screen, would you like to play the role of Patti? And how would you kind of envision it? I know with you... I
just feel like it's so hard. Like, who will play Patti Smith? It's like Patti Smith, she's one of a kind. There's only one of her. You know what I mean? I don't think everything needs to be adapted. If Patti wanted to make it into a film, then I think that she should do it herself, and I don't know, find someone who resonates with her personally. But it just seems like such a difficult, I don't know, it would be such a difficult thing to touch.
All the madness between me and you is real private.
You've mentioned growing up loving Bond films. As the Bond franchise is getting a reboot, have you ever envisioned yourself being in that franchise?
Yeah, my dad and I would have like bonding sessions and watch Bond films. Yeah, I mean, I would love to be a Bond girl if they wanted me to. I think that would be amazing. Those films there's so much rich history that come with those movies, and you know, the old ones are so nostalgic to me. So yeah, it would be very special.
Saved by the Bell.
Your role on Better Things as Max, as you kind of grew with that character over the 5 seasons, what did you learn about yourself personally or just as an actor?
Yeah, I was so lucky to have that job. I mean, it was a dream come true to like book a pilot. And also the show lasted, 5 seasons over the course of 7 years. So it was a huge part of my life, and everything that introduced me to acting was from that show. Everything I initially learned about acting, what it's like to be on a set, and everything that comes with that was from Better Things. And so I'll take I really credit that show to sort of helping to create my discipline and how I work. I don't know, I'm very grateful to have that job, to have had it, yeah.
Yeah, Mom, you're the victim. Everything is unfair.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, what did it feel like to be cast in that one and in a complicated role like that?
Oh my gosh, that was... It was so surreal, it felt unreal. Like, I remember asking my mom, like, is this really happening? Did this actually happen? Am I actually gonna play this role? Because, years before, kind of when I was deciding that I wanted to seriously get into acting, my dad and I flew to New York to see The Hateful Eight on film. And it was such a special experience that we had together. I had kept the ticket, and my dad and I were talking during the intermission, and we were like, wouldn't it be amazing to be in one of these movies? Wouldn't that be crazy to make a movie with Tarantino? And then a couple years later, I did. And so it was like I won the lottery in some way. I couldn't believe that it was happening to me and that I was that lucky. So yeah, I don't know. And also just in terms of like acting, I think it helped to open a lot of the doors that were closed, at least just like creak them open. People took me a little bit more seriously or looked at me in a different way. I think directors had a little bit more faith in me as an actress after that. But yeah, Quentin gave me my first real big movie role, and I'll forever love him because of that.
Where the are we, man? We are in Hollywood, man.
Going into Scream, you get the call for the Scream franchise. What was that like? How'd you feel coming into such a big franchise?
Yeah, so I think we were like in the thick of the pandemic. It was a really weird time. I was still living with my parents, and I got a call that they wanted me to play the Ghostface killer in a Scream movie, and I would get to leave home and go to a new place and like make this fun horror film. And it just seemed like the biggest blessing that could come to me at that time. And it had been, a good amount of time since I had worked. I think maybe even like 2 years or something like that. And so I was like, this sounds like the most fun. This is amazing. And I went into that film. I had the time of my life. I met amazing people, and the film has brought me so much love. And I really had no idea what that fan base is like and how incredible the horror community is, and I've been able to discover that, and I'm so grateful for that experience. And I think it was also the catalyst for Sean Baker to watch me in that and want to cast me, write Anora for me. Welcome to Act 3.
Going into Anora, what did it feel like to kind of approach the role for Annie in such a different way than you've probably experienced on these other sets?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, Sean welcomed me into the collaboration in such a big way, and I've never quite had that experience before. I've never had a director want to write a movie for me either, and so it was incredibly special and daunting and exciting, and Sean is such an amazing, amazing filmmaker and kind person, so I'm still kind of in awe or shocked that he wanted to work with me in this way, but really, because nobody had wanted to. And I'm so grateful that he saw something in me and also has really championed me and my voice. And yeah, I just feel like it was this amazing kismet written in the stars sort of creative collaboration. I've always dreamed of having that with a director. What the is going on here?
Going off of the collaboration and stuff, I know I found you had picked out her clothing and the hair tinsel, and going into the tattoos, is there meaning behind them or any other details that you really thought through?
Yeah, well, the hair tinsel was actually the hairstylist's idea, but it was one when I looked through my Pinterest board for Annie, I had a photo of a girl with glitter in her hair, and so I was like, this is perfect. And it's so symbolic as well. But also when you think about how long it takes to put in those pieces of tinsel, it's so thoughtful too. She's putting a lot of thought and effort into her appearance. It takes hours to tie in those individual strands. And, everything from the nails to the costumes, the shoes that I bought for her, it was all very specific and thought out and detailed, because all of those little things create this character in such an impactful way, and the way that you decorate your body, the tattoos. I saw a lot of photos of girls who had back of the leg tattoos at clubs, and I think it's it's very modern club girl. And I loved that, and I loved that they were bows as well, because it's something very edgy and also very soft as well, and it was the juxtaposition of those two things that was kind of I liked it, and then also when you twerk and jiggle your butt, the tattoos move, and it you can see more twerking. Butt jiggles, I don't know.
Is that a butterfly?
Yeah, it's a butterfly.
You're so classy.
I know.
I got dollar signs like a real hoe.
There's a lot of great lines that just feel so natural. Did you improvise at all?
Yeah, there was a lot of improvisation, and Sean really welcomes that. I think it was a scene-by-scene thing that we sort of had to intuitively figure out if improvisation was right. But then there was also scenes in the script that were description paragraphs of what happens, or a one-line scene. For example, Annie shows off her dancer's flexibility. And so I'm thinking, okay, now it's my job to bring that to life. What does that look like? And so I'm brainstorming, thinking of things, and I think, okay, well, how about I help choreograph a dance routine that Annie does, an erotic dance for Yvonne, a striptease of sorts. And so I help choreograph that with my dance instructor and, create a costume. And I practice and pick the music and show it to Sean the night before, and he was like, perfect, let's make a music video out of it. So it was things like that, I think it just depended on the particular scene, but he was really open to all of my ideas, and I was really excited to share them.
I'm just gonna go chill in my mansion or whatever.
For the music, was there any songs or things that you felt were really essential to her?
Yeah, a lot of the club songs were really important, I think. I helped choose a couple of the songs, and a lot of the dancers were also really helpful in choosing music for the club as well. The Slater song is one that some of the girls loved and was kind of a staple. But yeah, I think the way that he also uses music in his movies is it's really specific. But I do love that Sally Walker song as well, when she's walking through ready to fight Diamond. It's a good moment. I like it.
Me go myself, you go yourself and your mother.